All right, today we are diving into a really powerful and honestly pretty provocative idea from Bill Perkins' book, Die with Zero. It's a framework that is designed to flip everything you thought you knew about money, saving, and your life right on its head.
So, let's just kick things off with a quote that perfectly captures the spirit of this whole thing. Wow. It's designed to be a bit of a shock to the system, right? It's basically taking that deeply ingrained goal of leaving a big pile of money behind and just throwing it out the window.
Okay, so to really get why this idea is so radical, we have to talk about the default setting. You know, the financial autopilot that most of us are on, a lot of the time without even realizing it.
We all know this script, don't we? It's the one we're taught from day one. Work your tail off for 40 years, save every penny you can, and just keep piling up money for this magical thing called retirement that's always way off in the distance. It's the ultimate game of delayed gratification.
And what happens when you follow that script? Well, the data shows a lot of people are actually really good at it. The median household for someone in their early 70s has nearly $250,000 just sitting there. By any conventional standard, they've won the game.
But here's the question that this whole philosophy forces us to ask. Is that really a success story? Or is that number actually a sign of all the experiences you didn't have, the trips you never took? Is it really a symbol of wasted potential that, let's be honest, you can never get back?
And this is exactly where Die with Zero comes in and offers a completely different goal to aim for. It basically says we've been optimizing for the wrong thing this entire time.
This, right here, just reframes everything. The standard playbook is all about maximizing your net worth, right? That number on your Vanguard statement. But Die with Zero argues we should be solving for a totally different variable, maximizing our net fulfillment.
And this quote from the author, Bill Perkins, just sums it up perfectly. The whole focus shifts from just growing your bank account to actually growing your life.
Now, this is a really crucial point. This is not a call to be financially reckless and just blow all your money. Not at all. It's a call for being intentional. It's a calculated plan to use the resources you've earned to build the richest life you possibly can, leaving nothing on the table. No unspent money, and way more importantly, no regrets.
So to really get on board with this, you have to start thinking differently about what money and time and your experiences are actually worth. This approach reframes money as something called life energy. Think about it. Every single dollar in your bank account represents a piece of your finite time on this planet that you traded to get it. So any money left over when you die, well, that represents hours of your life that you worked for nothing.
And here's the other side of that coin. When you spend that life energy on experiences, you get what Perkins calls a memory dividend. See, unlike a car that loses value the second you drive it off the lot, the value of a great memory can actually grow over time, paying you these dividends of joy for the rest of your life. It's an investment that compounds.
But here's the real kicker, the insight that ties this all together. The amount of enjoyment you can actually get from your money isn't the same throughout your life. Not every dollar is created equal.
This chart just shows it so clearly. That $1,000 you spent on an incredible trip when you're 30, when you're healthy and full of energy, provides way more fulfillment than that same $1,000 would when you're 80. Your ability to turn money into fun literally declines over time.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how in the world do you actually do it? Well, the book gives us some really practical tools to get started.
One of the best tools is this time bucket exercise. So instead of having some vague bucket list of stuff you want to do someday, you proactively plan which experiences actually fit best into different decades of your life. It really forces you to be honest about, what's a good idea for your 40s versus what you should probably save for your 70s.
Now, this whole idea of optimizing for the right time, it doesn't just apply to your own experiences. It also totally changes how we should think about giving to others, especially to our kids. This timeline is just fascinating because it shows this huge disconnect. The time when a little bit of money could make the biggest impact for someone, when they're buying a first house or starting a family, is in their late 20s and 30s. But when do most people actually get an inheritance? Around age 60, when they're probably already at the wealthiest point in their own lives.
Perkins has this brilliant, really cutting quote for this. He says, "By waiting until you die to pass on your wealth, you're not being thoughtful at all. You're just leaving the impact of your gift completely up to chance."
So, as we wrap this all up, the entire philosophy is really just one big challenge to each and every one of us to finally get off that comfortable, conventional autopilot.
At the end of the day, this isn't really about spending more money. It's about being more deliberate with all of your resources, your money, your health, and your time. It's about consciously designing the life you want instead of just letting fear and old habits call all the shots.
And that leaves us with one last really powerful question to ask ourselves. A question that forces us to look in the mirror and decide what we're actually more afraid of.